welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, Beautiful Game of Life, part of the Believe Network. I'm Ramsey Alushala, editor of UrbanPitch.com. To my right, we got somebody else in the seat today. We got a special guest co-host. Unfortunately, the director of Vibes, Julio Matorosa, he's out today, but that means we get the executive director of Vibes. I think she put that on herself. We're still trying to get that title to get approved by HR. So I mean, we'll see how that goes. But
it's in the works.
Yeah. But we got Brigitte Flores, special guest co-host today.
Yes.
Brigitte,
what's up, y'all? Hey.
It's so good to have you back.
I had
in the
to
studio.
kick Julio out.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing his job right, so I had to step in, show him how the executive director does it.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see how it goes, and maybe we'll get a promotion. Maybe Julio will become the assistant to the director.
Yeah.
Of Vibes, So we'll see how it goes. But today we have a very special guest. We got another MLS player, another rookie. He's with Nashville SC, first round draft pick. Ahmed Longmire is joining us today. Ahmed, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, man, we're excited too. Let's get this going. So, you're from Vegas originally. So, this is actually last week we had Justin Rasumssen on. He's a Vegas guy.
Oh,
we were talking to him. Yeah. we were talking to him about we also had Danny Masofsky and Tristan Blackman, both Vegas guys too. So we talked about the Vegas. It's kind of a sneaky soccer town. They got some players that they're producing. But one thing that we didn't get into that I was not like regretful, because I think we had a good conversation, but it was one thing I wish I would have asked. But we didn't talk about the whole Vegas experience when it comes to doing a Vegas weekend trip, getting the kind of insider's tips. So as someone who grew up there, who knows the ins and outs, what are some of the low key spots that most people don't really know about?
Share the tips and tricks.
Yeah,
how to do it right in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Low key spots, to be honest, like growing up there, just because I grew up there, I wouldn't always go down to like the strip and stuff. Like the main thing we go down there for is like the mall. And that's like the go-to place to be, especially when you're in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. But like, what about other stuff outside the mall? Because everybody knows about the strip, right?
Yeah.
They know the casinos. Right. You got the clubs and all that. Is there anything maybe off the strip or outside?
What about
maybe
Fremont? I know. I enjoy my time when I'm out there. Fremont, I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, Fremont's a cool place to be, especially when you want to go out to all the bars and stuff.
Yeah,
it's actually cool. They got some cool bars down there for real.
Right. The music's good too.
Yeah. Facts. Especially like the top bar I think down there everyone goes to is like Commonwealth. That's like the go-to for sure.
Okay. We're gonna have to write these down.
Yeah. I mean, because we haven't done the Vegas trip yet, the Urban Pitch Vegas trip.
Yeah.
So I mean, when we go out there, we'll hit you up to get maybe a more comprehensive.
We'll have to hit you
Hey,
up.
you got to. I got friends that work. I got friends that work at the clubs too. So
hey, listen, the hookups.
Right, okay.
We're all about the hookups.
Yeah. So do you get the hookups when you go out when you're back home?
Yeah, like bottle service and stuff is clutch, especially with some friends I went to high school with.
Okay.
Ahmed's out here popping bottles.
Nah, not even like
yeah. Listen, the last episode, Justin was a self-proclaimed city boy. So what's up with you? Are you also out here claiming city boy life or what?
City boy? Nah. I'm right now. So
okay.
Yeah.
That's why he's being more low key right now.
Okay.
Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Cool, yeah. So going from Vegas, going up to college, you went to Utah Valley, but then you transferred to UCLA. Right. Obviously we're based here in LA. We talk about LA a lot out here. What was your experience in your one season here? And how did that compare to growing up in Vegas?
So LA, it was it was a different vibe because I never like just lived there before.
Mm.
So it was really cool. Like growing up, you always like love going to LA and stuff. But I thought it was really cool. You didn't really see a lot of things that you would see back in Vegas and stuff. And like being like what 4 miles away from the beach in Santa Monica, it was like living a dream, honestly.
Mm.
It didn't feel real at times. And sometimes you just have to like really just soak it in and just really enjoy the moment, honestly.
Which one was like your favorite beach to go to?
Um, we would go to Dock Wilder a lot and do like
Nice.
bonfires and stuff with
That's
the
where it's
boys.
at.
Yeah. That was
You
a
were
cool
doing it
spot.
right. I see you.
Facts. That too. It was a cool time for real. Or like taking the late night cruises down PCH and stuff.
Nice.
That was a good vibe for sure.
Yeah. So what was your time at UCLA? What made you move from Utah to LA and take us through that process?
So after my sophomore year at UVU, like I realized that like I felt like I touched the ceiling there and like everything I could do there, and my aspirations were to go pro and to make it to where I am right now. And so I really just went in, talked to my coach, and he was shook at first because like he didn't expect it and everything like that. And I feel him on that for sure. Like I thank him for getting me out there and went D1 and everything. Um, but I felt like I told him that I feel like I'd done everything I could here and that I want to take my talent somewhere else. And he was hurt about it at first, but once I put my name into the portal, he was really cool about it. And Ryan Jordan at UCLA, he ended up hitting him up before he hit me up. And Greg Moss told me that he didn't tell me who it was. He was just like, I have a good friend. He's gonna hit you up later on tonight. And out of nowhere, I get a call, and it's, hey man, this is Ryan Jordan from UCLA. And I was just like shook. I was like, no way. So then from there, that's it. That's how it went.
Yeah. I mean, props to you for, self-advocating and knowing what you wanted next for yourself. I feel like that's definitely not easy,
It was
especially.
Right. And it was like actually it was really scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like
Go
I
ahead.
first went into the portal. I was getting hit up by like JUCOs and everything. I was like, bro, this was a mistake.
Right.
And
You're
then
like, what did I do?
Yeah. And then one of my other friends that was transferring out with me, Becca Rice, he ended up going to Oregon, but then went back to UNLV. But he was like, nah, bro, just wait it out, stay in there. So I'm really thankful for him for that, because I don't know what I was gonna do, but I'm thankful everything turned out the way it did. And I ended up going to UCLA, met really cool people. The team out there was awesome. Probably some of the best talent I played with growing up at all. And we became really close. It was awesome experience.
Yeah, when did you know, you said you had the aspirations to go pro. When did you know that that was like a reality? Was that at your time at Utah, or did you realize it could really happen once you came out to LA?
Aspirations to go pro happened before even college, actually. Cause like when I was 16, I really I was like, okay, like I can go pro.
I'm nice.
Yeah, like you
I got the moves. I got the
feeling
moves.
yourself. Start feeling yourself. Yeah. So when I was 16 and sophomore year in high school, I was like, man, I'm really nice at this. Like,
Okay, this is light work.
Yeah. So I was really feeling it. And my goal was to go D1 at that point. So I ended up doing that. And then once I got there, I just knew I had to like really buckle down, because going to college was really different for me at first, because I ended up leaving high school early, like a semester early. I started at UVU, and like you go in and like everyone's older than you, different mindsets and everything like that. And a lot of them come from like academies and stuff. And I was never on an academy team. I would play club in Vegas with Heat. And really, I just knew I just had to work harder than everyone else.
Right. And so that's like your experience going to UVU. What about when you started at UCLA? What was that experience like?
So like it was kind of the same. Like I was actually nervous because like these guys were nice, and I was like, damn.
You're like, I thought I was nice.
Yeah,
right.
Like these guys, a bunch of them were on like the national team and stuff. So I was like, okay, like I really got to put in work right now. But it was really cool because, you know, we had those captain practices and stuff before you really start getting
Mhm.
into it and everything. And I just showed them that I could ball and earn respect from the team real quick. And it just went off from there.
Yeah, and as a new guy, right? You gotta set the tone, right? You gotta let them
Have
know, you
to.
know, what it's all about. And as a center back too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like things get a little physical. Did you you know, just to do a quick shoulder check? How did you kind of assert, like, you know,
I feel
to let them
like
know what time it was?
I always had like that gritty part of me, especially being a defender growing up. So like that just came natural. I just really wanted to show that I was like technical with the ball and like I had vision of the field and stuff like that. Like even as a center back, I can dribble and stuff. So it was
Yeah.
really cool to
So
just show
so
them that.
so it wasn't like, you know, I'm gonna walk up to, you know, whoever is the baddest dude on the team and just take him out or anything like that.
Nah, not even like that. I was just making sure I went hard, like no one was getting past me. Like one of the boys, Riley Furch, he's the boy. He was one of my roommates there. He's like he knew he was nice and he came up to me before one of our first captain practices and he was like, "Hey, you think you can guard me?" Like testing my confidence and stuff. And I was like, "Bro, yes. Like, who are you?" Yeah. So from there, I just went off and earned their respect real quick, and from there, it was really cool.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on UCLA moving to the Big 12 out of the Pac-12?
When I saw that, I thought it was kind of crazy because, like, when you think of UCLA and stuff, you think of Pac-12, you know.
Mhm.
But I feel like it'll be good for them because there's a lot of different talent and teams out there that you normally wouldn't play throughout the regular season, and so I just feel like it'll be good for them because you get more exposure and stuff like that. And the Big Ten is actually a good conference,
Yeah.
so it'll be really good for them.
Yeah, Big 10. I said Big 12, but
Oh, Big Ten,
uh
so it might be the
no, no,
same.
yeah, no. You're right.
I
I
think
think
it is the
no,
Big
it's
Ten.
Big
Yeah,
10.
yeah.
I said Big 12. You're right. You're right.
See,
Oh,
this is
really?
why I'm here. I have
Yeah,
to
she's
make
the
sure he
fact.
does
She's
it.
she's the
Good
That's
luck.
resident
right.
fact
Yeah,
checker. Yeah,
that's me.
yeah.
I'm the nice one.
Okay. Let's. But I mean, those road trips are brutal, though, right? Like, I mean, you're going out to the Midwest. Like, I mean, once it comes to conference play, like every weekend or every week, you know. So, what was the travel like for you when y'all were at UCLA? What was that like?
Uh, it wasn't too bad, honestly. Like, what is our farthest game? I think the farthest game I played was at like UW or
Mm,
Oregon.
right.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah. Yeah. But did you guys do non-conference games on the road, like elsewhere on the East Coast?
No, we didn't. Oh, just we only played at Duke, and that was in like the
Mm,
NCAA tournament.
okay.
Other than that, we didn't really travel that far.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure that's going to take a load off of on the players, like, you know,
Yeah,
doing
that's
that.
actually gonna be
Like,
tough.
yeah,
Actually, those are long
yeah,
flights.
yeah, yeah. I mean, all right. So let's move on to the pro game though. So you get your name called. At what point did you know that, you know, like, I mean, you talked about having the aspiration since you were in high school, but what did you know that, you know, like, this is not an aspiration anymore. This is going to be a reality. Like, I'm going to the league. I'm going to get drafted. What point was that? And then what was it like hearing your name get called on draft day?
So like, I really knew like I was gonna go to the league or like it was gonna be real opportunity was probably going into UCLA and talking to Ryan Jordan about like my aspirations and everything, and he really just set me on the right path and really pushed me every day at training to do the certain things and everything, and really working on my passing and my vision of the game. So I'm really thankful for him for that, for sure. And then what was the end of your question?
And then what was going through your head once you got your name called on draft day?
Oh, uh, like I still think about it to today.
Yeah, share that moment with us. Like, what was
Like
that like?
it was crazy. Like I didn't even think I was gonna go that high because during the end of the season, like I didn't have a good senior season because I tore my left ankle, everything in my left ankle I tore, and then my MCL, my right knee, I tore like a couple weeks after healing my ankle. So I was like really down on myself, and I was like, dude, like I don't even know if I'm gonna get called. Like it's crazy. But my agent Kevin Weinreich really kept me like upbeat about it and was like, nah, like you're good. We believe in you. Like you're gonna get your name called. And so I just believed in it and just let it play out. And I ended up going 10 overall. And it was like it was insane because like a couple years ago, I was talking to one of my friends. Like, this is manifestation, the realest. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, bro, I'm gonna go like top 20 for sure. And this is like me in my sophomore year in college, like talking to just one of the homies, and he was like, all right, bro, all right. And then just seeing it happen, like, it was just surreal. Like, I didn't even know how to handle it in the moment. Like, my mom and them were there, and I was just like, what? Like, there's just no way this is real right now.
Thanks. So you've been
so
manifesting things since you were 16.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's dope.
But so you went into it like you weren't 100% sure you were gonna get your name called.
Right. Yeah.
And then you go 10th overall. I mean, like, that's got to be like pretty like. Were you surprised that you went that high, or did you know that you had a good chance of if you were gonna get called?
I saw the mock draft, and I was like top 10 on there, and I was just like what, like how? But like still, like, you never know what's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really sure. But seeing my name at 10, I was like, dang, we're lit, bro.
That was another I'm nice moment, huh?
Like, nah, that moment I was just really thankful, because I was working really hard throughout December to like just get fit and right again, you know. So I was just really happy and thankful in that moment.
Yeah, and then so you see Nashville. What are your thoughts? You know, when you hear Nashville, were you excited? Were you, had you been there before? Had you heard of it, or like have you heard
You're
about
like, where's
it?
Nashville? What's going on?
Yeah.
I was actually really excited about it because I've never been here before, and then one of my homies that's on the team with us, Josh Bauer, I actually live with him and one of our other teammates, and we played back with each other in 2019 and PDO in Seattle.
Okay.
And we've been close ever since. But just seeing him get drafted here, and like, I don't even know what they call it. It's like the redraft or whatever in
Supplemental
December.
supplemental draft or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He got picked up from Atlanta here. So I was like, dude, it's lit, bro.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to come here and get started, especially like you know, you got goats here like Walker Zimmerman and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about it.
Yeah, Mukhtar is leading the league in goals. Like, I mean, you're playing with dudes, and then I mean, at your position, you got Walker Zimmerman starting center back for the men's national team. So I mean,
it's insane.
Yeah. So what was it like learning from him when you walked in on the first day of training camp?
It was like, I felt like a fan at first. It was crazy. Like, I didn't know how to really handle it, but like, you know, everyone's just like really a normal person, so you just really just talk to them and really get to know them. And it's just really cool how we're all just really close now, and you just talk to them like you know them for forever, and just take notes to them while in practice every day. So it's awesome.
Has it been easy for you to like build those relationships and like put yourself into the team dynamic?
At first, like, nah, because like, you know, you're that new face and everything. So you really have to just be to yourself a little bit and just like just do your thing. But like, just showing them out on the field and stuff, like, that's like really the main thing, how I feel like you earn respect from players, and then just showing interest in them, like just talking to them when you go to eat and everything like that, just getting to know them. I feel like that really builds your relationship with them.
Have you heard any like anything that's been like very motivational for you or inspiring from any of your teammates so far that has like really stuck with you since you started with Nashville?
I would say just being confident in yourself, because I remember Hani, he was talking to me in preseason, and he was like, hey bro, like, you're here for a reason. Just like always believe in yourself, and like, because if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else is really going to believe in you. So just be confident in who you are, because you're here for a reason. And like multiple of them told me that, and I was like, all right, so like, I'm here for a reason, man. Just ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were they treating you different at all because you're a rookie? Were they making you carry the bags? You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Making you sing like at the restaurants and things like that. Like
you know the process. Every day, still after training, I'm like picking up the balls. Like, it is what it is. It's cool, whatever.
You got to start somewhere,
every day.
right?
Yeah, you got to.
But I mean, were you doing anything else? Like, were you doing like singing songs, doing dances, things like that
I had
the
to
team?
do it. I had to sing a song. I sing Katy Perry by Fireworks from Katy Perry.
Okay, that's a classic. That's a classic.
Yeah. So I had to do it.
Did you do a whole choreography with it too? Dance and
Yeah, I
everything?
had to do some hand movements and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I made it sure it was enjoyable for them for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, you got to put on a show. You got to put on a show.
You're an entertainer. You care about the people. Okay.
Yeah, you have to. I'm for the people, trust.
Hey, that's what's up.
So what's been the overall experience so far in MLS? Like whether it's traveling with the team, doing team workouts, the day-to-day grind of all that, because that's something that I think talking to other rookies, like even Justin last week, he said he was a little bit caught off guard, and he got it kind of took over his life for a little bit before he could settle things down and everything like that. So what's that kind of whirlwind like, and getting adjusted to being a pro?
Yeah, so at first it was kind of tough. Just like, soccer now is just everything. And it's really like, for me, it was more like a mental battle because just like, it's actually hard work for real. Like, it's really tough actually, day-to-day training and then traveling. Um, you just really have to like find your peace and just really, really find yourself, and then everything else really just fall into place. That's why I was like really thankful to go out to OC and like be
Mm.
able to just do my thing for a minute, get my playing time and everything like that, and just like really find myself again. And now being back, I feel more confident than I was before I left. And just now, like, I don't know, I feel closer to the team than I did before too. And it was a big adjustment, but I'm thankful for it for real.
Yeah, and before we get into OC, because I want to get into that, but what are your thoughts overall on MLS as a league? Whether it's the competition level, the pay structure, just the way that the league has grown over the years. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's
Now that you're
a
there.
I think it's actually a dope league now that I'm like in it and like I see everything from a different point of view. Um like you got players coming from overseas to join our league
Right.
now. So like you can really tell that it's really coming up. Like we actually have great players in our league. So I really think it's really good. Even from like the pay and stuff, like uh being a rookie is like you're still getting a decent check.
Hmm.
So like I think it's a great league, honestly.
Yeah. Was there ever a time when you were growing up, maybe in whether you were a kid or in high school, where you kind of like dismissed MLS, maybe because of certain things? I mean, because let's be
It
real, like there's a
happens.
lot of people like American soccer fans who won't even watch MLS, and now I think
Right.
that the league's been growing. It's been changing a little bit. But were you always a
That's
fan of
fact.
MLS, or did you kind of grow into it? And now that you're in
I
the league, you're like, damn, this is for real.
Yeah, I for sure had to grow into it because I honestly didn't even know that many players in MLS before
Hmm.
like the past like 2 or 3 years,
Hmm.
honestly,
Yeah.
because I was more into like the Premier League,
Right.
La
Mhm.
Liga, Champions League, and stuff like that. Uh, but now that I'm in it, I think it's great.
Yeah. For real. All right,
Nice.
yeah. Let's get into Orange County, because you mentioned you were put out on loan here. You just returned a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But what was your overall experience like out in Orange County with OCSC? Because that's a pretty good organization. You play in really good stadium at a championship stadium. So what was that like for you, and how did that grow your confidence as a player and your game overall?
I thought it was really cool because like when you get there, you kind of do your own thing. And being able to train with the guys, it like I don't know, it really just allowed me to be myself more and just go out there, ball, because they like coming from the MLS, like they like instantly believe in you,
Mm.
and I think you got it like that. But I just stayed humble, really just focused on like why I was there, and really just dug into every training and stuff and took everything serious. And it was a great experience. I didn't get as much PT as I would have wanted to, but that's just part of the process. So just trust the process. That's what I learned most this year. And um, yeah, I thought OC was a good experience overall.
What were
Good
some
guys.
if you could name like 2 to 3 things that you were able to like build or elevate better for yourself, like in your game? Like, what would be those 2 to 3 things that you can name? Like having that experience to go play with OC before and then going back to Nashville.
Like what helped me?
Yeah, like what do you think in that moment playing with OC? Like what did you get to learn? Like did you elevate like your footwork? Do you feel like you got better at certain skills having that opportunity?
I feel like I got my game like management, like just understanding spacing and stuff like that, and just like taking the right touches, giving the right balls. Because the last game I really played was last November, so that was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being able to get in and like remembering how it feels to be in the game, like the atmosphere and everything, it was really good for me.
Yeah. And as a Vegas guy, are you a UFC fan?
UFC for sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, because I seen you,
We
you
can
know,
tell.
getting down a little
We
bit.
can tell. You brought that out a little, huh?
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, you know, I'm about the game. I don't know, bros was just kind of frustrated throughout the game. I wasn't really giving them anything, but like, you know, I'm about like getting in each other's face or whatever. But
Right.
that my last thing was like about fighting. So it is what it is, though. I felt like I had to defend myself in the end. So no one was really mad at me. They understood.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because like when you see all the time, like especially like in sports, right? Dudes are like, you know, whether it's the NBA, MLS, like Premier League, they always get in each other's face. They always start talking, you know, and
Like
it's
that's
always
part of
like
the game. I feel like people love that, though. You know.
yeah, right. So, but you rarely see it escalate into like
actual
dudes,
like throwdown.
like, you know, just throwing down like that.
Yeah.
So what was going through your head? Like what was going on? Like,
I was conscious. Like I didn't black or anything. I was conscious for the whole thing. Like I win the ball off him clean. Like you could watch the tape. Like I win the ball off him clean. I pass it away, and he like doesn't even look at the ball after me passing. He just like gets straight into my face, and I'm like, bro, what? Like, and I'm not gonna back down to you. Like, who are you?
Right.
So he just got mad and he grabs me, and like I'm not trying to put both my hands on him at first, so I grab him with one arm and I'm trying to like pull him off me or whatever, and like he tries instantly throwing me to the ground. So I try to stay on my feet. I stay on my feet the first time, and I still only have one arm on him or whatever. And then like once he like really starts to take me down, I grab him with two arms. I'm like trying to get him off me or whatever, and he's like trying to choke me or something. So I
goodness.
So I just started swinging, bro.
Right. I mean, at that point, right?
The self-control in you you know, props to you, because I feel like I would have gone crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, because that was wild. And then like bros was waiting down for me in the tunnel too.
Oh my goodness.
They said, I'm gonna catch me after the game.
Yeah. It was wild.
Dang.
But, like, it is what it is. I don't know. Hopefully he good.
Because that's a rivalry match. That's a rivalry match too with San Diego.
Yeah.
So did you feel the intensity going into that game a little bit higher, or?
Yeah, especially from like the fans and stuff. They're talking mess the whole time.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, though. You love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, people.
You live and you learn, you know.
Yeah, right. But I mean, people. I mean, like you said though, like I as a fan, like I enjoy that stuff. Like you know, you don't want to see. Obviously, you don't want to see like, you know, people fighting or whatnot. But I mean, as part of like the storylines and all that stuff, like to me, I mean, that's like part of the entertainment. Is
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
it's definitely it's a part of the game. You live it, like growing up playing in like club academies, like Sunday leagues, especially Sunday leagues. But you definitely see it. It's not something that you can't avoid, so people can't be mad at it for happening like in the professional setting. You just gotta, I mean, obviously definitely never take it too far, but also stand your ground.
Yeah, I know Brigitte's got red cards in Sunday leagues before, so
I can't play Sunday leagues anymore. I got
okay.
banned. No, I'm just kidding.
She's on blacklist.
He said it's okay. I've been there.
We've all had our fair share for sure.
Right. So I mean, as a center back too, especially, like you got to keep that. You got to maintain that energy. You got to be like, there's an innate physicality that comes to playing the position. So I mean, do you have any other kind of like funny red card stories, or like, you know, just like incidents like that, or was that like the worst of the worst?
Like I've had red cards before, but that was like my first red card since I was 17, because during that time, I don't know what I was going through, but I was getting red cards left and right. And I told myself after the last one, I was like, bro, you're never getting a red card again.
That was just a teenage dirtbag phase, right?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, now that you came back, you know, you made your return from OC. You're back with Nashville. You're back training with the club. A lot of times when that happens, when you get recalled like that, you know, there's talks about, you know, you possibly making your debut. So is that something that you've been anticipating since you came back? What's been going through your head? How are you preparing for all that? And you know, how have you been feeling since you got back?
So yeah, like you're always anticipating like going in and stuff. So every day I'm just like putting my all in the training and stuff and just showing that like I'm here and I'm ready. So like whenever you're ready, like let's get to it. But yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity of possibly getting in. Like that'd be a dream come true, obviously, but you know, just staying in the moment, be present, and just wait for the right time, because like I'll get my chance for sure.
Mm. And what's the ideal debut for you? Like what goes on? Like for in your head, what would be like the perfect debut for you?
Perfect one for me would be completing every pass, no one getting past you, 1v1 duels, you winning everyone, winning aerial duels, and if I get my chance to get in the box, like take advantage of it.
Yeah, right.
And no red cards.
Yeah, no red cards. Bro.
Yeah, no.
None of that.
But I mean, like, are there any nerves that come with that? Because you know, with that coming up, you know, it's like kind of on the horizon. Are there any nerves that come with that, and how do you deal with them if there are any?
So like, yeah, you get nervous because like you don't want to go out there and, you know, just like mess up and like end up costing the team or just like looking bad, period. But like messing up is part of the game, so you really just try not to feed into that so much and get into your head, because once you're in your head, you're gonna fold. So I just try to stay positive on myself and just remember like this is a game you play every day. Like you know what to do. Just go out there and be you and just grind. That's really all you can do.
Yeah, those self pep talks are important.
Yeah.
Facts.
Right, and you mentioned the team has been pretty, you know, supportive and welcoming with you. What's the whole dynamic been like, especially playing with? I mean, you're having a good season. You know, you're more than in the playoff hunt. You will be a playoff team if things continue to go the way they're going. So what's it been like being on, not just a team that has welcomed you with open arms, but has been competing at a pretty high level?
It's been great, honestly, because like, you know, coming into the league, you know, you feel like there's always that team or like teammates on the team that are like, you know, kind of rude or like stuck up or whatever.
Right.
But like coming to this team, like everyone was really cool. Everyone's not like rude or anything like that. No one thinks they're better than the other one. It's just like we're all just kind of one and we get along really well. So I was really like thankful to be able to come to a team like that.
Yeah, so Walker Zimmerman's not like walking around pulling his national team card out, you know.
Nicest guy you'll talk to, I promise. Like,
that's nice.
He's a great guy for sure. Super nice.
I mean, getting a chance to learn from a dude like that, that's like a priceless opportunity too, right?
Right. So like, if anything, I'm just learning from him every day. So it's really great.
Yeah.
What about like the fan base of Nashville? How's that? Like the
supporters? Because y'all got a great brand new stadium.
Dang.
Yeah.
I heard, yeah. I don't know if they're any better than, you know, over here, LAFC supporter section. Because we out here.
Right. I mean.
But he said, I mean, we're out here. But what about you, your perspective, the Nashville supporters? How's that, the fan base?
I think it's amazing. Like the city actually really loves Nashville. You'll see like on people's bumpers and stuff, you see the Nashville sticker. We got a bunch of signs up and stuff. Like everyone knows who we are. So it's really cool to like come to a city and like just like random people knowing who you are. I'm like, dang, all right, that's dope.
Oh, nice.
like it's dope. It's actually crazy.
That's super dope. And what has that experience been like for you? Like being out in public in Nashville, like being recognized, like do you have girls like trying to hit on you? Like, hey, what's up? What's poppin'?
Hey, you're gonna get in trouble.
Nah, and even if they did, I would have to ignore them.
He said I would have to ignore them. Listen, you sound like a city boy.
yeah, it's cool, but it makes you realize like, wow, like you're actually a public figure now. So the way you move, it like you got to move right.
Yeah, you can't be acting
So
crazy.
Yeah, you're an
yeah, for
influence. You
yeah,
never know. Like you're the next inspiration for the young athletes out there, you know, and
right,
everywhere.
exactly. So I really try to be like myself, but like just make sure I'm carrying myself in the right way all the time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, how about off the pitch in Nashville? Because I've heard a lot of great things about it. I've been trying to go for a while, but you know, that's like all the stuff I've heard. You know, whether it's, you know, the music, the music scene, the bars, the nightlife.
Yeah. How's the city?
Yeah,
So my life is crazy. So like I live about like 10 minutes down the street from Broadway where everything happens and stuff. It's actually crazy. There's so many people out there all the time. Like all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like a go-to girls trip city
For
for
real,
sure.
that's bachelorette
Yeah.
city.
You
I
always
mean,
you always see a bachelor. Always. They're always on like those buses and stuff too.
Going up.
Yeah, for real. It's a great city though, honestly, especially like for country music and everything like
Yeah.
that. So if you a cowboy, it's your spot.
yeah. Are you in the country at all?
I'm into it a little bit. Like my dad, he was really into that stuff.
Okay.
So he would always be playing it or whatever. You know, I'd hear a little Luke Bryan here and there.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, nah.
What have you enjoyed doing the most while in Nashville?
I would say probably Broadway for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, especially when you go out with the boys. It's a good time.
I'm telling
Just
you.
enjoy yourself.
All right, yeah. So maybe actually, you know what? Maybe we'll push the Vegas trip and we'll go
straight
to Nashville instead.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
We were just in the Bay Area. That was lit.
Oh yeah, we came back from
nice.
Oakland. Yeah, we were catching an Oakland Roots game last weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. How was it?
Yeah, I mean it was cool, man.
It was cool.
They definitely have their own vibe up there.
Yeah.
And you know
they get hyphy.
Yeah, the stadium was packed. It was cool. Yeah, but so. Yeah, does like your coaches have like a curfew for y'all to make sure that you're not going out too late, or is that just kind of like you're expected to be professionals type deal?
You're expected to be professional for sure. Just like if you want to be great, that's what you got to do. Just make sure you're taking care of the stuff off the field. Everything you do off the field, like comes about on the field. You know.
Yeah, for sure. What about the food out there? How's the food? How would you rate the food?
The food. I'd say about 1 out of 10. I'd say 8.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty
It's
fire.
a good average.
They got a couple good spots down here for sure.
What is like one of your favorite restaurants to go to if you have one already?
I would say this place called Sunda that me and my roommates go to sometimes. It's like a little Asian restaurant. It's kind of bougie, but it's cool. It's nice. It's
Hey
nice.
man, you're pro athletes, man.
I know. You could be a little bougie.
Yeah, you earned that right. You got
that bougie money.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, but so it's a 8 out of 10. I mean, that's pretty good, especially coming from Vegas, which is like, in addition to the nightlife, in addition to the strip. I mean, they're known for having, you know, really like hotspot restaurants and top level chefs are always opening up spots in Vegas. So how does Nashville like if Nashville's an 8, how does that compare to Vegas?
You know, nothing topping home. But yeah, I'd say Vegas over Nashville just because I know it more. But Nashville for sure got its spots. Like a couple of the guys put me on this place called Edley's, I think it's here, because Nashville's really hot about their barbecue and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So they got a really good dry tip there. So
Nice,
Okay.
for sure, if you slide out here, you got to go to Edley's.
All right. Yeah, we'll be hitting you. We'll be
Noted.
hitting your line for all the spots, whether it's
Hey,
the bars
I
on
got
Broadway or the restaurants and all.
Yeah, you'll have to send us a list.
I got you.
Well, wasn't hot chicken
Yeah.
invented in
So
Nashville?
what about hot chicken? Because that's spread across the
Hattie
country
B's?
now. Yeah, Hattie B's is that's like the number one
Ooh.
spot. But
I personally didn't like it.
oh, Hot take.
Interesting. Tell us more.
What's it called? Dave's Hot Chicken.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know.
So do you think Dave's is better than Hattie B's?
100%.
Oh my goodness. He said
100%. That is crazy.
100%.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry, but it's true.
Dang.
True. I was hyped up about going to.
Right.
I went with my girl and we were like, yo, this is about to smack. Cause it looked good.
Right.
But honestly, like, that chicken wasn't hidden. It
wow.
wasn't.
Like, what about, was it like too spicy, or was it like overcooked, or what?
It wasn't like, it didn't feel like, how Dave's is like juicy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't really juicy.
It didn't have the juice.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to like talk bad about it, but like, it wasn't it, man.
I mean,
you gotta give it a second chance. Maybe it was a bad day. It was a bad day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you gotta go to a different location. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. They set the tone that day, though.
Dang. That's
Damn,
interesting.
I mean,
I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither.
I mean, you would have to try it for yourselves and then let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. Another reason why we gotta go.
Because it is a popping spot. There's always a lot of people there.
Right.
Yeah. How about other things off the pitch? Because we like to cover, all things off the pitch, whether it's art, fashion, music. What are some of your other hobbies that you get into outside of soccer?
Outside of soccer, I'm really into fashion, and like anyone you talk to that knows me knows that I like getting dressed up and stuff.
Okay.
And honestly, soon I hope to like be able to start like a clothing brand or something of my own. Like that's like one of my dreams as well. Or like I'm really into music and art too. So those are some things I really, really enjoy off the pitch. As well as like I wish in school I studied like directing and stuff because I love watching movies and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's something I regret not doing in school, but
it's never too late to learn, man.
Yeah, right.
You could always pick that up.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So what goes? Do you put a lot of work into the pregame fit? Like, what's going on? Because I know.
So like here, it's like
they don't do like the whole runway,
That's not a thing?
the photo shoot before the game.
Like they do, but like you can't just wear your own drip to the game. Like you got to dress like you're going for a job interview or something.
No way.
They have a dress code.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's kind of tough, especially for me because like I wanna show out at the game.
Yeah, I bet
for sure. But like it is what it is.
Hey, maybe you could be the trendsetter. Maybe you're the one that sets the
and
tone.
They know it too.
And this is where you start your fashion branding, like
that's what
here.
You just got to eat those fines.
Yeah.
Right? Like, screw it, just do it.
It's an investment. Think about it like that.
Right.
The investment. Yeah.
That's fact.
When it comes to like your fashion, like who inspires you?
I'll say growing up listening to A$AP Rocky, like his fashion is crazy.
Yeah.
That babushka swag.
Wait, what?
That babushka swag.
Hey, fact. Fair enough. But yeah, being a little pretty boy, growing up, I don't know, it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I mean, he's like up there, like in terms of like influence, because I feel like the way he came up, like he just kind of blew up almost overnight. It seemed like, with the pace of the whole Peso video.
Yeah,
now, I mean,
that's a throwback.
Yeah. I mean, but now I feel like he's not even like he's more known as just like a figure, not even like as like for music, because he kind of transcended all that with everything else he's got going on.
Right.
So, I mean,
he's definitely one of a kind. Him and all, just like A$AP Mob, that whole squad goes hard.
Their squad's different for sure.
Yeah, I've been to a few of their concerts, and I go in like with my hair straight. I come out with hair curly, like
beat up.
Yeah, beat up, like dripping sweat. Like I had to
like that.
Yeah, but it's fun. Like that's like those are like the best concerts to go to.
Yeah, that's true. Like my first concert was a Uzi concert.
Oh, push me to the edge.
Hey. Shoulder work, get your shoulder work. Hey. But yeah, I remember coming out of that concert like just drenched. Like I had like a large shirt on. It came out looking like a triple XL.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So what about movies though? Because I mean, I enjoy watching movies too. Since I was a kid, I mean that was just something that I would do to either pass time, or now it's just become like going to the movies was a big thing for me, like especially in high school and stuff like that. But
Right.
what's your like kind of go-to movies? Who are some of your favorite directors?
My type of movies are like always like action thrillers. Like I had to grow up a little bit and start liking horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Like growing up, my twin brother, like he loved horror movies, but like I would always hate them for sure. But I think those are some of my favorite, even like rom-coms and stuff like that. Like if you hate on those, you're whack.
Don't sleep on rom-coms, man.
You can't.
Those are, they're really good.
They don't make them like they used to, but
No.
I mean, like they had like the whole
go-tos.
2000s run of like Matthew McConaughey was doing his thing.
Yeah, he's a great actor too.
Yeah.
Do you have like an all-time like go-to you'll always like watch movie?
That's a tough one. Dang, I would just say like any Marvel movie probably.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Marvel.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, you can.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
but they're not bad to like rewatch.
Yeah, no. So you're big into the whole Marvel. What are your thoughts on? Because I feel like since like Endgame happened, I was never too big into it, but like I pay attention to what people are saying and stuff, and
right.
I feel like the feeling like that this whole like current phase of where Marvel's at right now, they're kind of looking for that hit. Like it hasn't been obviously where it was, 4 or 5 years ago, when Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, all the Thors, and then obviously the Avengers and stuff. So I feel like the latest phase of the Marvel, the MCU movies haven't been as
yeah, widely, and I totally agree with that. Like, and sometimes I feel like they're getting kind of cheesy.
Yeah,
like, to be honest, but
right.
Yeah, after Endgame, that's like they're trying to find themselves again.
Bro, I saw that clip of She-Hulk and
Megan Thee Stallion twerking.
Oh yeah,
you seen that?
Yeah.
That's
how you know they're really trying to figure it out. they got twerking scenes.
Like we love Meg Thee Stallion, but I mean like at some point like when you're like to me, it looked like a commercial, like a Super Bowl commercial.
It did, right?
Yeah.
Kind of cringe.
I thought it was a commercial. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was like a commercial. Or something.
But that was like the actual
scene.
Yeah, that's
crazy. Hey, she's going up though.
It's kind of cringe.
Yeah, I mean, but look, we're obviously we're having a good time, But Brigitte, before we start to wrap things up, do you got anything else that you wanted to ask? Or?
Let's see. I guess, coming back to Orange County, playing there for a bit, do you feel like you had an opportunity to like come back to what you had when you were at UCLA for the time that you were there? I mean, granted, Orange County isn't LA, but was it nice to be back in the like Southern California vibes?
Yeah, it was for sure. Like just because I was just like used to it, and I knew a lot of people there, and so it was really nice being back. It felt like home, to be honest. Yeah, so it was really nice. I enjoyed it.
Did you get to eat some Dave's hot chicken before you went back?
I went there like 3 times. I think. I had to. That place was crazy. Like you have to make sure you get the honey packets too.
Yeah.
Don't let any like true Nashvillians see this because they'll turn on you when they hear this.
They're gonna come for you, or maybe they'll be like, "Listen, I got some hot chicken to try.
That too.
You gotta try this one."
Yeah, they can put you onto some other spots.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have to put them onto Dave's. They don't know Dave.
That's funny. That's true.
Yeah,
it's a good spot. You can't deny it.
I mean, it is good. Howlin' Rays too out here. I don't know if you had Howlin' Rays, but Howlin' Rays is that's like also
pretty
like
poppin'.
The OG.
Oh dang! I don't think I've been there.
Yeah, I mean it's the lines are crazy. Like they'll sell out before people get to the front of the line. So you'll be in line for like 2 hours and you go home, you're still hungry. Like
that's tough.
I know.
Yeah. I just think it's a little overhyped though. I would always go. You can't ever go wrong with Dave's.
Right. I mean, and Dave's is they're bigger, so like you're gonna get served if you go. Like,
multiple locations.
Yeah. They got some in the valley too. So
I know.
Shout out to 818. Yeah. I had to get that in there. But look, we'd love to have you on for longer, but I know you got stuff to do. We got stuff to do as well. But before we wrap things up, we do this thing where we put you on the hot seat a little bit. We throw some quick questions your way, and then we'll wrap up after that.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll throw it out.
Okay, I'm gonna bring him out.
Yeah, the executive director of Vibes.
The executive director of Vibes is doing hot seat.
Yeah.
All right, the first one is, and I'm just gonna throw this out here: Vegas or LA?
Vegas.
All right.
Easy.
I mean, you said
He's
LA
loyal.
felt like home, so I had to ask.
He's loyal.
I had to ask.
He's loyal to his roots.
You're loyal. That makes sense.
That's home.
Nice. All right. What are your top 3 pregame playlist songs?
I would say "Rich Spirit" by Kendrick Lamar. What's another one? "Hallucinating" by Future, and there's one more. "Rumors" with Lil Durk and Gucci Mane.
Okay, those are nice.
That's the hype list.
Solid.
Yeah.
All right. What's your first concert / favorite concert?
My first concert?
Yeah.
First concert and favorite concert.
First concert was Uzi concert. And my favorite concert was dang, that's tough too. I would say Cardi concert.
Okay. Nice.
It was tough.
Yeah. Lil Uzi's concerts aren't the same as before. So to hear that was like one of your first concerts, you had it good.
I saw him in 2017 too, so it was lit.
That was his prime time. That was his prime time. Yeah.
Prime Uzi.
Yeah. I love that Uzi.
Right.
All right. The next one. Best bar in Nashville.
Best bar, Whiskey Row. Slide
Okay.
through.
All right, yeah,
Slide
that's the
through
spot.
to
That's
Whiskey
the
Row.
spot.
Whiskey Row.
We're gonna have to be in there. All right. And the last one. Start, bench, or cut. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, or J Cole.
Start, bench, and cut.
Yes.
All right. You know we gotta start Drake. Everybody love Drake.
Okay, Drake.
And then we're gonna bench Kendrick because he'll come onto the pitch and turn up.
Okay, K Dot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, J. Cole, man.
Dang, we're cutting J. Cole.
Well, I got to, man. Kendrick. I feel like Kendrick's lyrics are hit different. Bro.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Definitely game changers.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, that was it. Thank you so much for being on with us. We appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I had a good time. This is dope.
Yeah.
Hey, likewise.
It was definitely a good time. You know, we'll be paying attention to you moving forward. You know, I know big things are ahead for you. You're gonna continue to keep manifesting things in the future. But you know, we'll for sure keep it tapped in with you.
For sure.
Everybody watching, everybody listening, I hope you keep it tapped in with us. We got some upcoming guests here in the future. But you know, until then, for Ahmed Longmire and Brigitte Flores, I'm Ramsey Abushala. This has been the Urban Pitch Podcast, part of the Believe